Hey y'all, it's Stacy with SouthernBite.com. Welcome back to the kitchen. Today we're making my old-fashioned Southern chicken and dumplings. What makes them old-fashioned and Southern? I'm not really sure, but what I do know is they're delicious. Now, if you love this recipe, why don't you hit that like and subscribe button? That way you get a notification each time we upload great new content. All right, let's start with our chicken. So the goal here is to slow cook a whole chicken. Now, why do we pick a whole chicken? Well, because bones and cartilage, as disgusting as it might sound, adds tons of great flavor and collagen to create a really rich broth. Now, I'm gonna use a 3 to 4 pound young chicken because it's gonna fit in my pot really easily. It's gonna give us the meat that we need. It's got the bones and the skin and all of those kinds of things. If you'd like, you could opt for bone-in chicken breasts or chicken thighs. But for me, I find that the most traditional way, the way that my mama did it, was to use a whole chicken. So that's what we're gonna use here. All right, so I've got my chicken here and I'm just gonna put this right in my pot. I'm gonna sit this back here. All right, we're gonna cover this chicken with some water. We're gonna add flavor to this water too, but I always start with water because we're gonna add some chicken bouillon or some chicken base. We'll talk about that in a second. You could absolutely swap the water for chicken broth if you wanted to. You're gonna wanna just barely cover this. I find that about 12 cups is what you're gonna need. We're just gonna pour this right over the top. I've got 3 ribs of celery here that I'm just gonna coarsely chop. Now in this case, this is just for flavor. We're not gonna eat this, so I'm gonna leave the leaves and stuff on because it's just another opportunity to add flavor. I'm gonna put that right in there. I've got a yellow onion here. I'm just gonna peel this, cut it into quarters, and it's gonna go right in the pot as well. Again, this is just about adding flavor, so this doesn't have to be perfect. Now we're gonna add about 2 teaspoons of salt here, and about a teaspoon of black pepper. All right, so before I talked about water, I said you could use broth. The reason that I use water is because we're gonna add some stuff to this. I'm gonna add either 3 chicken bouillon cubes, or what I like to use is this chicken bouillon base. Now I keep the chicken, the beef, the ham in the fridge all the time. They're a great, really easy way to add tons of flavor to things like broths and gravies and stews. I'm gonna add about 1 tablespoon of this, or like I said, about 3 of the chicken bouillon cubes. You could totally swap this for chicken broth, just replace the water with chicken broth like we said before. All right, once we've got that in there, I'm gonna turn this on. We're gonna cook this low and slow. I'm gonna bring it up to a simmer, reduce it to where it's just bubbling. I'm gonna cook this uncovered. Now, there is some debate about whether that's the right thing or the wrong thing to do. Here's why I cook it uncovered. Because when you cover a pot that's cooking chicken, quite frequently it's gonna boil over. And if you're not gonna be here right at it, it's much less likely to boil over if it's uncovered. So this is gonna take about an hour. The meat is gonna be super tender. It's just gonna start falling off the bone, and then we can proceed with the recipe. All right, so after about an hour, our chicken is cooked through. You can see that it's literally falling off the bone. We're gonna pull our chicken out and allow that to cool because we're gonna shred that. All right, now we're gonna strain our broth. You know, this is technically an optional step, but I like to filter out any chicken pieces or anything like that so we have a nice clear broth. And of course, we're gonna filter out all of the vegetables that we use to add our flavor. All right, let's talk about our dumplings. We're gonna take about 2 cups of flour here, and I'm using the spoon and level method where we spoon the flour into a measuring cup and level it off. Now you have 2 options here, all-purpose flour or self-rising flour. If you like a thicker, firmer dumpling, you're gonna wanna use all-purpose flour. If you like the more tender, lighter, fluffier, you're gonna wanna use self-rising flour. I like both. But I will say that oftentimes dumplings are a little bit harder to make with the self-rising flour because it has leavening in it. And when that happens, when that leavening activates, sometimes the dumplings have a tendency to fall apart. So I developed this recipe using all-purpose, but you can absolutely use self-rising if you'd like. To this 2 cups of flour, I've got 3/4 of a cup of ice water. We want it to be super cold. We're just gonna add that together and give this a stir. Now we want our dough here to be pretty shaggy, pretty thick. We want it to hold together because we're gonna turn it out and roll this out. Now when we use the term shaggy, you can kind of see what we're talking about. You can see how it breaks apart kind of easily, and it doesn't have a smooth appearance. It's kind of a rough looking, this is what we mean when we say shaggy. All right, what we're gonna do now is to turn this out onto our surface. I'm gonna put a little flour down because of course we wanna keep this from sticking to our surface. Then I'm gonna just dump this out. Kind of get in here with my hands and work this together. We don't want to work it too much because when we work it, we're creating gluten and that's going to make really rubbery dumplings, so we don't want that. But we want to work it enough to where you can see that it's kind of holding its shape. I'm going to dust a little flour on the top and then we're going to roll this out. One of the tricks here is as you roll it out, just lift under the edge and kind of dust some flour under there just to make sure that this isn't sticking to our surface. We're going to roll this out until about 1/8 of an inch thickness. Now another thing that I like to do too is turn your dough. So just as we swept some of that flour under it, when we lift it up and turn it, we're just ensuring that it's not sticking to our surface. Now we want to cut our dumplings, and we can do this a variety of different ways. I find that a pizza cutter works the best. I cut these into about 2-inch squares, but you can cut them as short or as long as you'd like. I just run right through them here with my pizza cutter. Again, don't stress about the exact size, and if some of them are uneven, it's all going to work out just fine once they make it into our broth. Now we're going to let these rest while we shred our chicken. Once your chicken is cool enough to handle, then all you're going to want to do is just pick that chicken off the bone and shred it up into a separate bowl. All right, so we added our broth back to our pot back to the heat, and I would argue that getting the broth right is the most important part of making chicken and dumplings. So there's some things that we can do here. I'm gonna add 1 can of cream of chicken soup. Now I know some people say you should absolutely not add it. If you don't wanna add it, don't add it. I think it helps to thicken this up, adds a little bit of flavor, but again, it's totally up to you. What I will say though is that you absolutely want to taste this broth to make sure that you get it right. You can add some additional salt and pepper. I've added as much as an additional tablespoon of salt to this to get it to the right flavor. You could add some of that additional chicken bouillon base that we used, some other seasonings or spices. We just want to get this right before we move on to our next step. The other thing is consistency. If you like your chicken and dumplings a little thin, you can leave it just like this. Although I will say that the cream of chicken will help to thicken it a little bit. If you want it thicker than that, what you can do is add about 3 tablespoons of cornstarch to about 1/4 cup of cold water. Whisk that together, bring this to a boil, and slowly drizzle that cornstarch slurry in. That's gonna thicken up your base, your broth here, and give you a little more texture. All right, I did add a little cornstarch to this just because I wanted it to be a little bit thicker. Now we're gonna add our dumplings. I've brought this up to a boil, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna slowly drop our dumplings in right around the edges, just a few at a time, and then stir it gently after we've dropped 5 or 6 of them in there, just to make sure that they're not sticking together. And as you can see, I'm just kind of working my way around the edges of the pot, dropping these down in there. And then I'm just gonna very gently stir this because we don't wanna break these up, but we also don't want them to fall and stick to the bottom of the pot. We're gonna keep doing this till we get them all added. Then we're gonna allow them to cook for about 5 minutes. Once they're fully cooked through, they'll start rising to the top of our broth. All right, obviously we made homemade dumplings, but there are some other options. There's some frozen dumplings that work great. There's some shelf-stable dumplings that also work. And some people even like to use canned biscuit dough. The one thing that I will say about that is that if you do want to take the shortcut and use the canned biscuit dough, I would recommend flouring your surface and rolling that out really thin. I just feel like that's going to give you a more authentic texture than just using the chunks of the biscuits. But you need to do what makes your family happy, and if it's the big chunks of biscuit dough, then you should absolutely knock yourself out. I just like to flatten it out, roll it out, and make it thinner so that it feels a little more like what I'm used to when it comes to chicken and dumplings. We're going to let these cook, and once they start floating to the top, then we're going to add our chicken. All right, so these are just about done, and I want to show you. So as I said before, using all-purpose flour is going to give us a thinner, more al dente, slick kind of dumpling that looks like this. If you want those soft, tender, fluffy dumplings, you just want to use self-rising flour rather than the all-purpose. All right, these are just about done. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my chicken here that I've shredded, and we're just going to add this right to the top. We're just gonna cook this long enough to heat this chicken back through, and then we're ready to eat. Nothing says home quite like a bowl of chicken and dumplings. I love to serve this with some additional cracked black pepper. And folks, supper is ready. You can head over to the website at southernbite.com and just search for old-fashioned Southern chicken and dumplings, and you can find that full printable recipe right there, along with a lot of other tips to help you make the best pot of chicken and dumplings you've ever had. Y'all enjoy.